A Baltimore family is now the center of a $25 million lawsuit against the owner of Sesame Place.
Yeah, the lawsuit lays out what attorneys call pervasive and appalling race discrimination, and it stems from videos like this that are sparking outrage all over the nation. WMAR 2 News' Kendall Green joins us live in the studio. Kendall, you had a chance to speak with the attorney representing the families. These videos were everywhere on social media a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, good evening, Kelly and Mallory. We've seen and heard the outrage in recent weeks after viral videos show Sesame Street characters seemingly ignore little black children intentionally. It's a story that stirred up national attention, and the Baltimore family is now taking legal aim against the amusement park after the incident in mid-June. A low five for the first kid, a high five for the adult guest, but nothing, literally nothing for these two little girls from the employee dressed as Rosita in this viral video. The mother of one of those girls has been vocal about the incident since it happened.
Me, my niece, and my daughter have all suffered embarrassment, discriminatory behavior, which we should not have to endure in these days and times.
A similar incident for Quentin Burns, here standing behind his daughter Kennedy.
It's brought him to tears. You know, for his 5-year-old daughter, who's one of the most precious little children I've ever seen, completely snubbed, ignored, disregarded.
He says on Father's Day, 4 employees dressed as Sesame Street characters ignored the father and daughter, saying at the same time those same performers readily engaged with white customers.
We're here to announce that we filed a class action civil rights lawsuit on her behalf.
Attorney Malcolm Ruff, representing the Barnes family, filed the lawsuit accusing the owners of Sesame Place of violating the Burns family and numerous other families' rights to make and enforce contracts in an equitable manner, citing Section 1981 of the Civil Rights Act of 1866.
It shows that while we have made so much progress, racism is still pervasive and still very much alive and still needs to be combated on all fronts, especially when you're dealing with children.
According to the suit, on June 18th, the Barnes family purchased 2 weekend tickets to Sesame Place near Philadelphia. The terms of the contract reserved the Burns family's privilege to meet and greet. During that time, 4 performers intentionally refused to engage with them, ignoring them and all the other black guests in attendance. The suit calls the performers' actions an unlawful refusal to perform its duties, outlining his contract with the Burns family.
If you look at her face after she's turned away by Ernie and by Telly Monster, the look of disappointment could literally bring you to tears.
That disappointment, Ruff argues, is solely attributed to Sesame Place's owners.
What is really happening here is a failure of training, a failure of supervision, a failure of monitoring, and a failure of vetting employees to operate within the confines and the parameters of the civil rights laws that govern our country.
Sesame Place, in their response to the lawsuit, told ABC News, quote, "We will review the lawsuit filed on behalf of Mr. Burns. We look forward to addressing that claim through the established legal process. We're committed to deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience for all of our guests."
Kendall, $25 million, that's a large sum. What prompted demand for that relief?
Well, with the park hosting at least millions of viewers every year, they're taking into consideration the widespread impact these practices could have, the impact it had on little Kennedy herself, and not to mention that high number of potential clients they expect to join that suit. But the $25 million figure, the attorney says, isn't necessarily set in stone. So.
Okay. All right, Kendall Green, thanks for that report. Thanks.